Hey guys, it's Rak, and welcome back to my Let's Play. Today we're going to go ahead and we're going to go get working on that automatic wheat farm. The thing that's going to make my automatic wheat farm different from some of the other ones you may have seen is we are going to be doing it underground. So I've gone ahead and I've set up a little bit of what we're going to need for this this build, I hope. Again, I've only done this a couple times, but let's go ahead and we'll dig our way down to a level where we're going to put our wheat farm in a nice underground location. And then we're going to leave above us, up on the surface, above where we are, is probably where we're going to be putting our chicken coop eventually. I doubt that's going to happen in this episode, because the wheat farm probably will take a little bit of time to get going. But I'm really hoping that you guys enjoy this one, and if you have any comments on it, or improvements for it especially, I'd love to hear from you guys, because I'm always looking for ways to improve upon my designs. Unfortunately, the beginning of this, there is going to be, wow, there's a lot of gravel here. This is going to be a little bit of clearing. Usually, I would have cleared off camera, but my wife says that she enjoys when, even during clears, as long as you're not struggling for things to say, that she really enjoys when people, even doing their clears, stay recording at regular speed and talking. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give that a shot today. So I'm gonna give you just the basic layout of my wheat farm. Keep it pretty simple. Again, if you want to be making something like this in your own world, it can be expanded almost infinitely. But the way I do it is I like to do just a quick three wheat on each side, so it's a total of 7 across. It's 3 on each side with a path in the middle, a necessary path in the middle where the water keeps it all hydrated. I also, the way that I like to do my wheat farm, so what you're going to see is my wheat farm involves pistons, water, which I only have the 1 bucket on me, so I am going to have to go back to the surface at some point and get some more, and some redstone, a couple of repeaters, because generally it's a little bit too big for just 1 row of redstone, and your handy dandy switch. I like to put some doorways into the redstone area, label them generally with a label them up, service entrance 1 and 2, in case we ever do any work back there, some maintenance. And I'd love to hear what you guys think of this design, and any ways to either improve it, make it more functional, make it just more interesting to look at. So we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna clear a pretty big area here. I just want to make sure that we have enough space, so that we don't have to make major adjustments later. I'm going to probably make this a little bit higher because, as I said before, I am one of those claustrophobic people in this game, and look at that, some iron. Can never complain about grabbing some of this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some clearing right now. And probably in the next episode, I'm going to do just the basics of the wheat farm, of the chicken coop. We're probably not going to get along to the hoppers and stuff because it still is a snapshot, and I still haven't decided if I really want to go ahead and put the snapshot in yet or not at this point. So we may actually wait for the hopper part of the chicken coop until it's actually released. The truth is, the hopper part is a part that it's not until we have a large number of chickens. So in the beginning, we wouldn't be using it anyway, but what the hopper is going to do is it's going to help us differentiate the chickens that we're keeping for egg production and the chickens that we're going to be killing for food and feathers. So let's just keep on clearing here. I'm just going to try and get a quick count of. We do want a little pathway of what we're doing when we enter. So let me go ahead and let's put some stairs down, because everybody loves stairs, and then we can see exactly. See, I got to clear some more ceiling space. Let's go ahead and do this. So again, you'll see this is going to be coming right off of our patio, which that's not right. Which you will see, I did go ahead and add those rails too, just little fences, little nothing patio, and I'm probably gonna make some sort of archway here so that we don't want just anybody going down into our wheat farm and collecting our wheat. I'm probably going to even make this 1 higher here so we don't hit our heads on the way down, because there's nothing worse than slowing your already slow descent because you keep hitting your head on the ceiling. Alright, so we're all the way down. Now let's see. I generally like to make my wheat farm 7 across and about 15 deep. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're about halfway there. 10, 11, let's just get a quick count. 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so that's probably going to be the end of the wheat farm there. Let me torch so you guys can actually see. Let's probably torch on this side of the wall. The redstone is probably going to be going behind this, so it will be a little bit deeper when we're all said and done. But generally what I like to do is I like to clear the area out first, and then I'll go around the back side, then I'll dig like through the wall right here, and I'll start putting down the redstone on along the outside. There are many ways that you can do an auto wheat farm with water. One is dispensers, which I've never actually gotten to work correctly for me. The way that I'd like to do it is I like to hide the water behind some pistons. It's my personal preference. One thing that I like is, one of the reasons is because pistons have their very unique noise, I can hear automatically right away if my redstone is working correctly. I'll hear if the pistons trigger or not. Another thing is, it was one of the first things that I ever really used pistons for, other than moving like a single simple block. And it was one of the, when I discovered that you can hide water behind pistons, I was like, oh wow, pistons are way cooler than I thought. I thought like, oh, they'll move one block, it's pretty boring. But I really do enjoy how they work now. Alright, so we're actually clearing this out pretty quickly. Again, so I just want to, before we finish up, I'll just give you a quick rundown of where everything is going to be going. So we're going to come down here to our entranceway. Right, the wheat is going to be, let's just start, we can place some of the dirt. Let's say it starts about here, right? We'll have 3 here, and we'll have 3 across this way, which obviously we're going to have to clear a little bit more on this side. Apparently, I thought I marked that off as a doorway, but really I was just marking that off as we need to go further. The wheat will be here, here, and here. Along the middle will be a walking path. Generally, it's going to be one higher than the wheat, so it would be something like this as we walk across. Because we're going to need some way to walk across the path in order to drop our seeds, to plant our seeds. And underneath this walkway is where the water will be. It'll be running underneath here, underneath the cobble, in order to keep the dirt hydrated so that we can actually grow wheat. What's then going to happen is at the very end, just a bit above the actual wheat stalks, is going to be a piston holding back a thing of water. What the water is going to be is above the wheat. The water, when we release the piston, the water is going to be released. It's going to flush all of the wheat down off the edge here. And what's going to happen on this end right here is there's going to be another piston over here with a water bucket that when the piston releases, it'll flow the water this way. It's going to have a hole down here, some ladders coming out, and then all of the wheat, or actually it's going to be right in here. Whoa, look at this gravel. And all of the wheat is going to be collectible right in this spot. That's the eventual plan. So again, I'll show you exactly what I mean when we get to it, but for now let's just finish clearing this out, and we'll get going. I am going to have to raise the ceiling probably 1, if not 2 more, which is why, again, I said this part is just a little bit on the tedious side. As you can see in my inventory, I made sure I brought some of the stuff we're going to be needing. I brought the stairs to get down here. The dirt we're going to need to lay our seeds. The iron hoe. I only brought the 1 bucket of water, which is not going to be quite enough. The ingots are in order to make the pistons. I left the redstone in the house. All right, we're going to have to go back and get the redstone. But, and then we're going to make pistons, and we're going to make a couple of repeaters. And we should be in pretty good shape. And I just made it dark for you. Again, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments if this digging out part in the future for, events like this is something that you would like me to skip, something to fast forward, or if you do enjoy listening to me ramble on about nothing, I'm more than happy to do this in regular speed for you guys. After we build this, and probably the chicken coop maybe, because the chicken coop, the early design is it's a short thing. It's something that I can do in the first few minutes of a build. It's a pretty simple design, something that I've been doing since I've started playing the game. But it's, in my opinion, it's fun, it's useful. But after that, we are probably going to start trying to go find ourselves some of that diamond that we were really hoping to get in our early caving runs. On the way here, we did see a couple different ravines in the area. I'll maybe take a peek in those, but they are surface ravines, so they may not be deep enough. Other than that, I'll probably take an adventure down into one of those caves we saw. I'll probably pick a topic of conversation for that episode, because I have heard from a few of you guys you do want me to especially for the early caving, to keep up regular commentary and not fast forward through it, because otherwise we don't want to miss awesome adventures where I fight 400 mobs in 35 seconds. So we're probably, if you do have any topics of conversation that you would like me to talk about, anything about myself, anything about, my gaming experiences, again, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to pick out one of those for our next caving adventure. All right, looks like we're almost done with the basic dig out. So as soon as we finish the basic part here, we'll at least get started with placing our blocks. All right, let's just get some torches up, make sure everybody can see what's going on. All right, so let's start placing our dirt down. All right. All right, so we need our second set of dirt to be 7 deep, or I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Because we do want the water, when it hits this level, to flow this way, but not go over the edge. We want it to push everything over the edge, but have the water itself not go over the edge. So let's actually do a quick test. Let's get rid of that torch. All right, so let's do this. Put this water... Let's put this water here. Right in the middle here. Oh, I can't even jump up because look at that. Ceiling, told you, ceiling's just a little too low. Right, so this water's now going to flow down. It is going over the edge. So we need to go one more, which is totally okay. Let's gather up this water. And we'll go for a test over here. Take out the ceiling so I can jump again. Alright, so now we place our water bucket here. Flows down. Again, you see these little corners won't happen when it comes off the original way, because it'll be coming down of all 3 spots. But this is perfect. The water goes right to the edge, which is just what we wanted. So we know that we're at the right level. Again, you can do this. So the way that I'm going to have it is just a two-tiered wheat farm. You can actually have this as many tiers as you want. It could be infinite tiers, as long as the chunks will all load, so the water will continue to flow. It's a little dark again. So there's no actual limit on what you have to do with this, time-wise. All right, so it was on one side. Oh, look at me! I'm going too far. Because this is cobble. I thought I was running out of dirt. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Now we'll finish up the other side. All right, let's go up. Let's go back to the house real quick. We'll grab another stack of dirt, and we'll grab the redstone, which I definitely forgot, which we're most certainly going to need. And I should probably keep these fences and doors closed. While we're here, I may as well show you a little bit about how I organized my stuff. As you can see, all the wood products I put in here, kept them all sorted. This is pretty simple, but what I like to do with my ores and my building blocks is I go like this. What I do is I fill the whole chest by row, so the cobblestone's all in a row, and I have the single stacks here. Anything that's not full on the row, I'll put single stacks like this, because what it allows me to do is now, as you see my inventory is totally full, I can now shift-click everything I want into this chest, and everything will automatically go into its proper place and stay organized, which I think is really useful. I like to do it with my start with my ores as well. See, now I can shift-click anything in my inventory, and it will go in its proper place. If I were to shift-click these 6 iron, I don't have to worry about it. I can click anything. If it's not in the chest, it'll stay where it is. If it is in the chest, like the 6 iron, it'll go into the iron slot. So if I could take, for instance, everything in here, nothing goes. But let's I'll take out a couple pieces, right? So let's take out these. We'll take out some redstone. We'll take out a couple of these lapis. We'll take out some of this gold. Take out some coal, and now as I come back from, let's say, a caving adventure, I can go and I can shift-click through everything in my inventory, and whatever is supposed to go in the chest will go in its proper place, and everything else will stay inside. Right now, this chest, as you can see, is a disaster zone, but this is generally just going to, for now, is my miscellaneous chest. Eventually, when we move into our full base in the mountainside, I'll have a storage room, which I've used a couple of times in my designs, and I do enjoy it, and we'll get into that a little bit later. For now, let's grab some of the redstone that we needed. It's probably more than enough. I doubt I'll even need close to that much. We needed some dirt, so let's grab a stack of dirt. And let's grab, just for fun, nah, we're not going to need any of that. So let's just work with this for now. We can come back if we need anything else. Alright. Okay, so now that we have our basic design pretty much set, we'll finish off our dirt, and we'll be able to get going. Man, it seems like every time I place a torch, it's in a bad spot. Alright, almost done. Alright, all of our dirt's placed. So now, anywhere that you see dirt on this in here is where we're going to be placing a seed. Again, as you can see, the ceiling needs to be dug out at least one, if not two more, to really make it not cramped. But for now, while we're getting moving, let's go ahead and let's build ourselves a crafting table. Even though I have 400 in the house right up there, and let's start building some of our necessary equipment. I needed those 6 iron. I knew I had them for a reason. I can't make pistons without them. Let's go grab that iron. I don't think I'm going to need 6. I'm probably only going to need 3, but we can work with this. Alright, so let's make ourselves some pistons. I hope I remember how to make them. I think this is it. Yes, success. Okay, that makes me feel good, because pistons, repeaters, all things like that, I'm not super advanced with redstone, and I constantly forget how to make them. But here we go. We got 3 pistons. Alright. And while we're here, let's also make ourselves 3 repeaters. Oh, I need redstone torches for that, I believe. Alright, so let's make some sticks first. Alright. Probably make just one more set of sticks. Alright, let's make some repeaters. Oh, goodness gracious, what am I doing? Okay, make the redstone torches first. Okay, beautiful. Now, let's make the repeaters finally. I'll talk about how noob I am at making redstone equipment. Yes, redstone repeaters. I survived. Okay, so let's start with our. Let's get this out of the way. Let's start with our doorway of where we're going to be putting our redstone. So what I like to do is, and let's make our lever now, because I like lever more than. Let's use a button for now. No, we're not going to use a button. We're going to use a lever. I like levers more than buttons. You see that old style feel of, I don't know, that from like this lever. I'm going to pull this lever, something awesome's going to happen. Buttons are just too simple, I think. Alright, let's make ourselves one of these. Perfect. Alright. Sorry for the delay. Alright, so let's stick our lever right on the wall where it's going to be, I hope. Alright. Let's start placing some redstone. The redstone is going to run around the outside of our wheat farm. Let's get some torches up so you can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, we're going to run some redstone. Let's make sure I'm going the right way. Alright, let's go towards the end, and we'll dig out through the middle here. And before we actually before we do the redstone, which makes no sense to do the redstone yet, let's place our pistons and gather up this iron. So piston number 1 is going to be, nope, sorry. Piston number 1 is going to be here, and when it connects to the redstone, it will be extended, and our bucket of water will be right there. So okay, this is iron. This is good. This is good. We're going to need iron a lot later, because I'm going to be doing some cool stuff with it. But for now, it's a little bit in the way. Alright, so let's do that there. Oop. Let's put piston number 2 over. No. Over piston number 2 over here. Perfect. This is going to be our entranceway anyway. Alright, this is good. We're finding a lot of iron here. I was actually really worried when I started building here that we were going to dig our way into a cave. I have a really bad habit. Anytime that I'm trying to, like, just, dig out a little plot to do something underground or, like, trying to get down to a strip mine, I generally stumble upon a cave that I don't want to get to. I don't know if it's good luck or bad luck. Some people say, oh, you can find caves whenever you want. That's awesome. It is a nice little touch, but at times it makes me crazy because I'm just trying to like dig something out like this or build a little strip mine, and I keep running into a random mine shaft, a random cave, and it's cool, but it's also quite frustrating. All right, so let's dig down now and see if we can connect to where we started building our redstone before. Okay, here, redstone, redstone, redstone. Where is it? Anyone have any ideas? Let me know. Okay, it looks like we were off by just one bit. All right, we'll use we'll use this. We'll make a turn. Let me stick down a repeater here to make sure that we don't run out of charge before we turn a bend. We're gonna have to put a block here. Alright, so now when we hit that lever, let's go and hit that lever. Just to make sure that it's connected and working. Oop. I'm going to have to make some adjustments here because I've obviously been digging out all that iron. If we hit this lever, oh, which is not connected to the redstone, that's why. There we go. The redstone lights, let's see where it stops. Oh, hello. Is it not getting enough charge? Or what? There we go. Guess I had it facing the wrong direction. Let's place another one here. And as you can hear, the repeater, or sorry, the piston has activated and closed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to block off that area inside here. I'm going to take our bucket of beautiful water and I'm going to place it in the block behind the piston. So now, let's close up some of this area here. When I release the piston, which I'm going to go do by releasing this lever, the water will flow, but it's going to flow incorrectly, so let's just do this really quick. Alright, so now when I hit the lever, the water gets released, it flows down the wheat farm, and something's wrong. Maybe it's a little too far. Is that possible? Maybe it is. 1, 2, 3. Just a little too far. So let's do this. Flow down and we'll shorten our way once. Something's wrong. Something is definitely wrong. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is, and I know why it wasn't working. I usually will have the water. Let's not kill the water because we're going to need it. Start one higher. Alright, so let's close our circuit. Whoops. Let's put the water here. Now let's see what happens. This works out. Something doesn't seem to be working. Okay, I did. I think I know what I did. Okay. This is why. I always had my piston was one higher, not the water. So now we need to just go into our... See, this is why I like to build our little service entrance. I'm going to go in, I'm going to make an adjustment on the piston, because now it's no longer being charged. Alright, now we should be in working order. I've like trapped myself back here. Okay. Alright. Looks like we should be in... Perfect, okay. Now the piston's closing. We can go here. Let's place our dirt back where it was, and hopefully it'll fix itself. Perfect. Alright, let's try this. Let's see if it works. Release the piston. Water flows. Flows over the edge of one. Flows right to the edge of the other. Perfect. Now it's talking. See what it's going to do is going to release it right into here. And we're going to have another piston of water pushing this way. And then in here, we're going to collect all of our stuff. So let's go back up to the surface really quickly. Let's get another bucket of water. Ooh, it is nighttime, and I keep leaving my fence open. And my door open. Hopefully there was nothing in there. Let's go grab another bucket of water really quick from our beautiful lake. And let's go into the house. I think I have another bucket of water in there. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. I think we have another bucket of water. Oh, and as you can see, I did finally build a bed here. But let's set our spawn. We can sleep away the night. See, look at that. Look at that beautiful view from our sleeping in our bed. Alright, now we have our new spawn set. It sounds like it's still raining. I hope that's not too loud for you guys. Alright, let's go back down. Alright. While we're at it here, let's place our piston here as well. I keep doing that. I always put the piston backwards. It's like a bad habit. Where did it go? There it is. Piston needs to go, I believe, here. Needs to get some of this redstone charged as well, though. I don't know if I did this quite. You know what, let's put the piston on the other side so that way we can actually get it to charge. Alright, let's put that there. Now we can... Let's just see where the piston is on this side. Alright, there it is. Get some redstone to it. Alright, so now this piston should also be on the same switch. Let's just do a quick test. Perfect. We stick our water here. Fill in our gaps here. We let the water... When we open up the water, this will flow this way. Right, and right here is where we're going to be gathering up our resources. We're not going to need that. Hop down here. So let's do another quick test before we set up the second one. Let's just throw some stuff into the water stream. See what happens. Right, so we're throwing some cobble in our water stream. The water picks up, the current picks up the blocks, pushes it over. When eventually this is going to be the wheat that it's going to be picking up. Whoop, throw a sword in there. Let's throw some dirt. It's going to push it over the edge. See, pushes over the edge. Then this water pushes it into our handy-dandy dispenser. And we can go down here and we can pick up all of our stuff. So this is how the wheat farm will be working. So now we'll close everything up. All the water will cease. So as you can see, I need to place at least one more block here to keep blocks from landing on the thing. But that's the actual basic design behind this wheat farm. What we'll do now is we'll just shift over this side as well. We'll shift this to its proper place because I messed it up. Now let's grab the piston, which is still on the ground, so I was wondering where I could pick it up. Grab the piston, grab some of the blocks, put the water behind it. Let's, sorry, not put the water behind it quite yet. We have to connect the redstone. That would actually make a lot more sense. Alright, so I like to dig the redstone around. Whoa. God, falling gravel everywhere. I like to put the redstone around the backs, so that I do have room to maneuver, I do have room to walk around. Look at this, there's gravel everywhere. Okay, let's actually gather up this iron real quick, because I can't pass up iron. I'm sorry. It's my OCD factor. I'm gonna know it's there, and it's gonna bother me for the rest of my life. All right. This is gonna be my service way out, or in. So let's go one deeper. We'll go one further back for the redstone. I do have one more repeater. Perfect. I don't think I'm short in redstone because we did find like almost 3 stacks of it when we were doing our initial caving, which is actually way more than I thought we were going to be finding. Alright. Let's get the redstone out. Let's throw down the repeater now to make sure that our current doesn't run out. Let's just take a peek exactly where I'm going. Alright, need to go up a little bit. So, whoops. Alright, so as you guys can see, Redstone and I, we're not enemies, but we're not best friends either. It's still something that I am getting used to and getting, more experience with every day. I'm hoping, now that I've started this series and I really am enjoying this series, I've been trying to make sure that I do my research so that I can really do everything that I want to do in this game. There we go. We see that's perfect. Let's exit out through here. Next bucket of water. And let's stick it in there. Alright. Now that everything is pretty much set up, let's dig out the ceiling a little bit so we can make sure we can get back here anytime we want. After this, we're going to get our last bucket of water to go down this middle gap here, so that the dirt can all get hydrated when we do till it. And yeah, we're going to be pretty much ready to plant our seeds. Alright, let's just dig out. We'll just dig out to here for now. I'll make maybe when we're all done with this episode, I'll go ahead and I'll just finish up the finishing touches on the revamp of the. Oh, look at that! Looks like we. Remember I said I was worried about a cave. Looks like the entrances of one are just above us maybe, but for now, we don't want to see you. We don't want anything to do with you. Our final testing pull of the lever. Looks like all the water sources are flowing correctly. I actually knocked a torch off the wall because it was too low. There we go. Knocked a couple torches off the wall. Look at that. All these blocks that were left over are flowing our way. And into our dispenser, ready for pickup. Alright, let's go grab those last couple buckets of water, and then we'll be pretty much done with our ready to till and plant. I don't know why I didn't grab 2 buckets when I was here last time, or maybe I did, I don't remember. Oh, I know I did. Alright, well, let's shut this off. Oops, this is gravel. Alright. So what we're going to do... don't want that there. What we're going to do is we're going to go up here, and just like the water flowed at this height, we just go into our little space here to close off the edges. Hope you can see, because this will... There we go. Just like we were doing up here, we're going to place a water here. It should flow all the way to the end, but let's not do it until we're out of this spot because we don't want to get trapped in here. Right, so here's the water. It should flow all the way down. It should hydrate all this dirt, I hope. But yeah, it should be good. So let's place our block back here. Take out our trusty hoe, the first one that we've made so far. So as you can see, some of the water spots are... See, here we go. We got some hydration started. That's cute. Because the tilled soil is technically sliver smaller. You can actually see into the redstone on the side there. I hope it's all hydrating. I hope we didn't mess up the water level. That's one thing that I'm still not quite sure how it works, how far the water can be from the soil. If it could be higher, if it could be lower. See, that shouldn't have because I may have to adjust the water underneath it just a bit. See, we have some soil that's untilling, which I don't understand why. And if you do know, again, I'd love to hear from you guys, because I'm going to be getting some of my information from you just as much as from, from knowing it on my own, from looking it up. We'll start planting our seeds. And when we come back the next time, we should hopefully have alright, if anyone knows why that's happening, please let me know. Because I don't. I've never seen that actually before. You see that? I plant a seed and 2 seeds pop up. Anyone? Any ideas? No? Okay. Very strange. Alright, so what I'm going to do is let's just make sure that my waters are flowing. It is. So I'm utterly confused. If anyone knows why this would happen, please, please, please let me know. Because I've made this design in a bunch of different games, and I've never seen the water behave quite this way. Or the seeds, rather. No? It's not going to stay. Okay, let's try this side. Maybe it's on that side. Yeah, it looks like it's on that side. Maybe it's too close to the redstone. Maybe it's... I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe the water ends too early? Actually, that seems to be it, maybe. Let's just place another bucket of water over here. Alright, let's, yeah, maybe this will fix things. I'm not sure, but, in fact, I doubt it, but we can give it a shot. Alright, that's what we're going to have to do here. Alright, yeah, but if you guys know what happened right there, I would love to hear from you, because I've never seen that before. I actually have no idea why that would happen, why the seeds don't want to stay in the soil. And actually, it looks like I've lost a ton of seeds because of that, but some of our other stuff already growing. Nope, still doesn't want to stay. Okay, for now, I'm gonna play around with this a little off camera, see if I can figure out what the heck is going on. If you do know, please let me know. Love to hear the reasoning why seeds are behaving wrong or badly, or I don't know. But yeah, that's our automatic wheat farm. Thanks so much for watching. In the next episode, we'll go down and we'll see, hopefully with the wheat farm fully functional, we'll grab it and we'll grab our first pull of wheat. Definitely going to move on to a small chicken coop next time, and we're probably going to go on a search for diamonds. If you have any suggestions on things that you'd like to see, again, no guarantees, because I don't know if my brain will be able to come up with the things that you want to see, but please let me know if you have anything. If you want us to get started working on our cave entrance over on our cliff entrance over there, I'm all ears. But I do want to find some diamonds before we get moving, because we've got 35 levels. Somehow I haven't died yet in this Let's Play. I was fully expecting to die multiple times, because it's just generally how I play. A little crazy leads to some deaths. So please let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.